There you go. Yeah, I'll do these on call when I say talk to you, then mute you or whatever. Let me know if they have any other issues if I talk or they start moving interest. Bye.
Good morning. The Committee on Parole is called to order. Today is September the 10th, 2025. And we'll be holding revocation hearings before we start our parole hearings. And my name is Cheryl Renanza. On the panel with me today, seated to my left is Mr. Danny Byra, and to my right is Mr. Pete Freeman. And our first revocation for a revocation proceeding is at Morehouse Parish Jail. And we have before us Mr. Minnieweather. Is that you, sir?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you have any paperwork there with you, Mr. Minnieweather?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, well, first introduce yourself. Tell us your name and DOC number, please.
Troy Lynn Minwether, DOC number 735-697.
All right, thank you, sir. So on that paperwork, is that a parole revocation questionnaire?
Yes, ma'am.
And did you sign that paper at the bottom?
Yes, ma'am.
So based on the information contained in that document, you're not eligible for an appointed lawyer today. So are you ready to proceed without a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, this morning your case has been assigned to Mr. Freeman. Would you, he'll take the lead on having you enter your pleas and then talking about it.
Okay, Mary, first I'm gonna read your plea. You could plead guilty or not guilty, and then we're gonna talk about it. I see you have no speakers here, so we can do it as we go. I will not engage in criminal activity, nor will I associate with people who are known to be involved in criminal activity. I will avoid bars and casinos. I will refrain from the illegal use of drugs or alcohol. Minnieweather engaged in criminal activity as evidenced by his arrest for second-degree battery, domestic abuse battery, and simple criminal damage to property. Also, on or about October 1st, 2024, Minnieweather was with Tyra People. There is a lifetime protective order forbidding him from being around her. Minnieweather, how do you plead to that charge?
Not guilty.
Okay, let's talk about it. Why you plead not guilty? What happened?
This my baby mama. We be having problems. I plead not guilty because she always try to send me to jail when stuff don't go right, or I don't want to be with her or something like that.
Okay, why were you around her?
That's my baby mama.
I know, but you know you got a lifetime protective order. It's also the victim of your first offense.
Let's stop.
Okay. So did y'all have an altercation?
We had an argument.
Okay, you didn't bite her?
No, sir.
Yeah. All right. I have no further questions.
All right.
No question.
Do you know what a protective order is?
Yes, ma'am. Kind of.
You know. All right.
I'll say, and you also had condition number 10, I will pay supervision fees in amount set by Louisiana Department of Corrections pursuant to the Louisiana revised statute. Payments are due the first day of each month. You will earn $89 behind. How do you plead to that charge?
Well, I plead guilty to that one. I ain't had no job though.
Right, I understand. Okay. All right. I'm ready to vote whenever the panel's ready to vote.
We're ready. Go ahead.
Okay, Mr. Minnieweather, I find you not guilty on number 10 because you just got out, but on number 4, you admit you were around Ms. Peoples and there's a lifetime ban. She's your original victim. I know she's your baby's mama, but y'all got to work something out where somebody else gets the kid, because every time you come in contact with her, you should be arrested because there's a protective order. So my vote today is going to be to revoke a violated condition number 4.
Mr. Byron?
I concur with Mr. Freeman for the same reasons.
And my vote too today also is to revoke based on violating condition number 4. So today, Mr. Minnieweather, your parole's being revoked. Good luck to you, sir. And we're gonna sign off from Morehouse at 8:50 a.m.
Yeah.
Hey, baby, you gotta go through here, coming over and hit it, but like, might not see them for 2 days. So. I'll wait on the image come on Facebook.
Good morning. Committee on Parole is now at Morehouse Parish Jail. Is the staff available at Morehouse? We're ready for Mr. Foster. Morning.
I'll let the boss come right in. Come on, you leaving?
Mr. Foster? Amos Foster.
Yeah. Well.
Good morning.
Morning. I'm waiting on him to come through the back door right now.
Okay, ma'am. So for the record, would you introduce yourself for the record?
Miss Martin.
Thanks for accommodating us, and we're waiting on Amos Foster.
Yes, sir. He on the way. He need to be coming up. He need to be coming up the walkway now.
Okay,
All right.
all right.
Let me go meet him right fast. I'll bring him right on in.
Okay, thank you. Good morning. Committee on Parole is called to order. It is 9:06 on Wednesday, September 10th, 2025. My name is Cheryl Renatza, serving as chairman today. Today's parole panel is myself. To my left is Mr. Danny Byrod. To my right is Mr. Peter Freeman. And our first remote location for parole hearings is at Elaine Hunt Correctional Center. So Warden, would you and your staff please introduce yourself for the record?
I'm Deputy Warden Luke Reeves.
Assistant Warden Joe Buttress.
It's just y'all two, huh?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, good deal. All right, and this is Mr. Anthony Jackson.
Yes, ma'am.
You introduce yourself. Tell us your full name and DOC number.
Anthony Jackson, 413866.
All right, Mr. Jackson, you are classified as a third felon offender. You were sentenced in July of 2021 for distribution of methamphetamine. You're serving a 21-year sentence. Your parole eligibility date is November 3rd, 2025, and your good time date is December 15, 2026. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
Right, your case was assigned to Mr. Freeman. He'll take the lead on the interview.
Okay, Mr. Jackson, how old are you?
58.
And how much education have you had?
The 10th grade.
Have you ever had any write-ups since you've been in prison?
No, sir.
Okay, because I didn't see nothing noted. What's the problem on supervision? I seen you've been revoked quite a lot of times. You can't get along with your officer or what?
Revoked.
Yeah, you had 2 revocations in your supervision history.
Can you explain what that is? Cause I don't understand.
On supervision for probation and parole. Why can't you get along with probation and parole? You get out and then you get revoked.
Oh, no,
Yeah.
sir.
Problem or what?
No, I don't have no problem with that.
No problem. Okay. You've taken a ton of classes. What's your best class?
Best class was the welding.
Okay, you got your certificate in welding?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Were you a user or a seller?
I was selling
Have you ever used?
a couple of times, yes.
What kind of treatment did you get?
Huh?
What kind of treatment have you had? You had any drug treatment?
No, sir.
All right, I have no further questions.
No question.
Warden Raines, can you share any information?
Just kind of what y'all have already talked about. He's been here about 3 years. He came here for medical reasons. He's been in our medical dorm since then. 0 disciplinary reports. As Mr. Freeman said, he has taken numerous classes, but he hasn't tried to further his education by trying to get his GED and hasn't taken any drug treatment.
And how long has he been there? Since
He came here in 2022, July of 2022.
What's his total term?
His full term date is 11/6/27. No, I'm sorry, that's the wrong one.
12,
Good time date is 12/15/26.
How long have you been incarcerated total on this charge?
5 years, sir.
On a 21-year sentence?
Yes, sir.
how is your health?
Yeah, I should write.
Not really bad.
Madam Chairman, he was participating in the welding program at Phelps and was sent here for medical reasons. Since he's been here, he's had his left leg amputated due to a medical reason, and that's why he is living in our assisted living dorm.
Okay, well, thank you, Warden Buttress. I appreciate that information. So why do you think we ought to grant you early release?
Got to do better, man, for myself.
What's your transition plan? Like, where, if you were released early, where would you go? And you got a good time date coming up, so what's your plans?
Man, I'm going to stay with my mom for right now, man. And I'm gonna use this welding. I got it, so I'm gonna use it.
All right. Well, I don't think we have any other questions and we're prepared to vote. Mr. Freeman?
Okay, Mr. Jackson, like I say, you took a lot of classes, but you hadn't done but 5 or 21 years. And actually probation pro got you as a 5th felony offender. If you take those classes, your good time date's gonna move up and you'll be out early next year. My vote today is gonna be to deny bad criminal history and bad supervision history.
Mr. Byron?
I'll concur with Mr. Freeman for the same reasons. Not enough time.
So, Mr. Jackson, my vote also is to deny. But I do believe that you need to work real closely with the transitional staff there at Hunt to get you a real firm plan of, you know, your work plan, your housing plan, your medical plan. Obviously, you're gonna need some health care. So take the rest of your time and work hard on making a solid plan. Wish you well, sir. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
Gordon
Thank you.
Reeves, thank you. We're gonna sign off at 9:13. All right, the Committee on Parole is at Riverbend Correctional Center. And we have before us, is that you, Mr. Foster? I think your device is on mute. Can you unmute it or ask someone to do that?
Yes, ma'am. How you doing?
So why don't you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and DOC number.
Angus Bernard Foster Jr., 552745.
I'm here for a revocation decision this morning. And do you have any paperwork with you there?
No, ma'am.
Okay, we're gonna put a form up on the screen. I need to see if you signed this form. Just stand by and put it up. Do you see it?
Yes, ma'am.
Is that your signature at the bottom of that page? No, you didn't sign that, did you?
No, ma'am. I signed one. I have it in the dorm with me.
So do you recognize this form?
Yes, ma'am.
So have you ever been treated for mental illness?
Ma'am.
I'm gonna just go over the questions with you again.
Yes,
Have you
ma'am.
ever been treated for a mental illness in the past 5 years?
No, ma'am.
Can you, on this form I'm looking at on the screen, you said yes. Is it yes or no?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Did you have a diagnosis?
No, ma'am.
Okay, did you take any medication?
No, ma'am.
Okay. Can you read and write?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you understand the parole violations you're charged with?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you want to speak on your own behalf?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Well, based on the information I'm looking at on this document dated July 10th, 2025, you can take it. You're not eligible for an appointed counsel this morning. Are you ready to proceed without a lawyer?
Yes, ma'am.
Well, your case this morning is assigned to Mr. Freeman, seated to my right. Would you answer his questions?
Okay, Mr. Foster, I'm gonna read your violation. Then afterwards, I'm gonna give you a chance to plead guilty or not guilty, and we'll discuss it. I will live at the address on this certificate. If I must move from this address, I will get permission from my parole officer before doing so. In addition, I will not leave the state of Louisiana without written permission from my parole officer. For about 1/29/25, your kind supervision and a warrant was issued for your arrest. On or about 6/11/25, you were arrested as a fugitive for probation parole in Kern County, California. And you pled guilty to that violation. Do you want to make a statement?
Yes, sir. I had called my parole officer several times to get in touch with him and let him know, to get, permission. And they had changed my parole officer, and I had no idea that they had changed my parole officer. But I wasn't trying to run from, my parole officer. I had just had a family emergency, and I just want the parole board to know that I hadn't committed no crimes in that, so I was just going out there for a family issue.
Okay, how long were you in California?
I was out there like off and on. I had went back twice, so I had stayed out there like 2 months, 2-3 months.
I will truthfully and promptly answer all questions directed to me by my probation parole agent. On 1/29/25, you provided office with an address located at 4639 YA Tittle Avenue, apartment 302, Baton Rouge, Louisiana, 70820. This address could not be located. You failed to return calls to update probation and parole. Did you ever report to probation and parole?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Why were you not at that address?
At that time right there, my baby mama had moved, and I was trying to get in touch with him, but I had Miss Dixon as my parole officer, and I never knew that I had Mr. Bezek, and I was trying to get in touch with him. I hadn't committed no crimes in that since I've been on parole.
I understand that. I agree to visits at my residence or place of employment by my parole officer at any time. I'll keep searches of my person, property, residence, vehicle when reasonable suspicion exists that I am or have been engaged in conduct. Fail to notify probation and parole of your current address. It's the same thing. You was in California, and it said you pled guilty to that violation. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And supervision fee, it says you were $693. How do you plead to that?
Guilty.
Okay. All right, Mr. Foster, where would you live now if you got out?
With my brother. My brother just purchased a home. I'll be living in Port Allen, sir.
You're living in Port Allen.
Yes, sir.
What's gonna make me feel like you ain't gonna run off to California again? I mean, you went twice, you've been on supervision before, so you know you can't go.
Right, yes, sir.
$1,050. So why would you do that?
I just made a mistake, really. I was trying to get in touch with him and went off my own understanding after I couldn't get in touch with him after I called him twice. I do apologize for my actions. I would never do it again. And I'm just asking for, for a leniency, if you can, sir, please. But I ain't commit no crimes to have no ability of running or nothing. I would never do that again.
All right. Put your name. Okay, trying to see, how you did thinking before it. Okay. Where was Harry Brown with that? Who were you living with that?
That's my brother address, Port Allen, Louisiana.
That way you gonna be now?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I have no further questions.
No question.
Let me ask you, when you had the family emergency, after your release and you found out there was California, did you go to the probation parole officer when you couldn't reach them? How many times did you go?
I honestly, I ain't never went. I called.
Why didn't you go?
I called them twice, and after I didn't get no answer, I never tried to call again. I
Oh,
just said,
two times on the same day?
yes, ma'am.
And you didn't even think to go run by there?
No,
That ought to
sir.
be thing to do.
No, ma'am. You're right. I do apologize for my actions. From thinking stupid, I really was just thinking stupid.
Yep, I agree.
Do you have a job?
Yes, yes, sir. I was working.
Or you gonna be able to get another job?
I was working at Sonic.
All right, I think we're ready to vote. Mr. Freeman?
Please, Mr. Freeman, it'll never happen again.
Yeah, okay, let me vote.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Foster. Okay, but I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna give you a break. I spoke you, but I'm gonna order you to pay that $4,782 in extradition cost.
Yes, sir.
You are to report to your probation officer, to the office, once a month.
Yes,
For
sir.
the next 6 months, okay?
Yes, sir, Mr.
Okay.
Freeman.
And, that's my vote, not to revoke or to probation officer, but to Danny's group.
Mr. Byron?
I'm gonna go ahead and concur with Mr. Freeman. Same reason, same condition.
Man, God bless y'all. God bless y'all. Thank you so much.
Well, we got
I think you just didn't care. You ran off. You're a third offender and you knew the rules. You knew you couldn't go without permission. You called 2 times in the same day and then you left.
Yes, that's the truth.
I know it is. I'm glad you told me the truth because I already knew it. I'm going to go with my colleagues. Do not revoke, return to supervision, pay the the extradition fees. That's what it costs the state of Louisiana to bring you back.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can work out a payment plan with your new best friend, your parole officer.
Yes, ma'am.
Or to your PO once a month for the first 6 months after release. Good luck. We don't want to see you again.
Thank you so
no
much.
luck. Got a big break.
Ooh, it's Renaissance. Thank you.
All right, we're going to sign off from Riverbend. It's 9:25.
All right, thank you.
All right, good morning. The Committee on Parole is now at Louisiana State Penitentiary. It is September 10th, 2025. Would the staff there at Angola please introduce yourself for the record?
Deputy Warden Rochelle Ambo,
Reginald Admiral, classification.
Carmen Shipley, offender records.
Right, thank y'all for accommodating us this morning. And Mr. Lightsey, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name's David Lightsey. My DOC number is 419551.
Yes, sir. And you have counsel this morning. Would you introduce yourself, please?
Good morning, Board. Adrienne Hutchison, attorney for the Louisiana Parole Project, here representing Mr. David Lightsey, Jr.
Okay. Thank you. And I have on my list Michael Hood as wishing to speak, and I see there's someone seated next to him. Ma'am, would you introduce yourself?
Katie Mino, I'm an LSU law intern.
All right. Well, thank you. Welcome. I don't know that I've seen you before. We also have on Zoom with the Parole Project, Mr. Kerry Myers, and also on Zoom in opposition, representing the victim, we have Rebecca Reyes, and we'll call on her for her comments shortly. First, let me just read a little identifying information, Mr. Lightsey, into the record. I'll ask you to verify that information, and then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Barra, because your case has been assigned to him. So you are a first felony offender. You were sentenced in November of 1999 to a life sentence for a second-degree murder conviction. Your parole eligibility date was June 16, 2023, and you don't earn good time. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am, it's correct.
Mr. Byron?
All right, Mr. Lightsey, why don't you go ahead and tell us what you've learned about yourself since you've been in jail? You've been in jail for 27 years, is that correct?
Yes, sir.
What have you learned about yourself and your crime since you've been in jail?
Since I've been in jail, well, on the street, I was well acquainted with poverty and deprivation. I didn't have the people that I needed to teach any kind of moral value or any kind of direction in my life fed me nothing but perversion. It wasn't until coming into this place that I even met a moral man that had any relative significance on my life. So through the programs, I was able to develop a moral character that was assisted through the men here and the programs that's offered in the institution. On the street, I didn't have any kind of talent. I had nothing to offer anybody. I was more of a parasite than I was a human. In this place, I was allowed the time and the facility to develop talents, to pursue trades. It's through those talents and trades that I later learned how to give back to my community here, how to become less of a taker, in the form of community service. I've learned a lot of things about people and about myself.
Just breathe.
You're doing well. I know you got a lot more to say than that. You've been in jail for 27 years, thinking about today.
Yeah, it's the gravity of the situation is blowing me away right now. On the street, I was overcome by the drug addiction, drug culture. I was trapped in a cycle. I mean, my first times of getting high was even with my parents. Even this situation is the result of drug addiction. Since I've been incarcerated, I I was able to address that addiction. I was able to, the classes that's offered here through the STAR program, I was able to identify what my problems were in the sense of codependency. I was able to identify what my triggers were, and I was able to rectify the criminal thinking that enabled the drug addictions to happen in the first place. I've been clean. Drug addiction is, I've subdued that portion of my life. I came here faithless, without any kind of direction in God. I've taken to the faith community. And the faith community has really been the staple that's made everything else. It's the glue that holds everything else together. Without this gives you the moral foundation and the base that it provided me everything that I needed to rectify all these other things in my life. It made the art make sense. It made everything make sense. And it's been my guiding principle. I've learned that when I look at my young life, I see that the mistakes that I made, terrible mistakes, I analyze them through the lens of scripture and through the lens of the classes that's offered here. The last time I appeared before this board, I went retake victim awareness. The first time I thought I had understood the impact of what I had done. Through taking that class again, I've seen that I had many blind spots. I've seen that I didn't understand boundaries the way that I understand boundaries today. I see that I didn't understand trauma the way that I understand it now. When I took that class, I've already made gains in changing my moral positioning. So it gave me a new focus and a new understanding of the material. In that understanding, I was able to rectify and completely crush out this person that I used to be, the child, with no direction, no moral, no talent, nothing to offer anybody. I understood myself to be at that time a liability, but through service in this place, I was able to create of myself an asset in all of the communities that I attend, even now, right now today.
But is that the class that you got the most benefit out of? That you think was the most impactful on you?
The class that was most impactful was the STAR program, because it enabled me I was still stuck, even with a good conduct record and doing good things, I was still stuck, and I would fall into phases of criminal thinking. Because I didn't even understand that concept until taking the STAR class. It revealed problems that I had that I didn't even know I had the problem, like codependency. I didn't even understand what that was until I took that class. And I seen that this is a critical problem that I have. This is what I had with my dad. And every time I've fallen in error, it's been through codependency or some type of justification on my part. And that class enabled me to reconstruct. So coming out of that class and able to see through the lens of a better thinking and of a moral thinking, the material that I absorbed through victim awareness, because it was suggested that I attend the second phase of that class. And I did. but I took the whole thing because I wanted to understand it, not so much to make an impression, but to really change, because a person can use a lot of words, but their heart's not changed. So I took the whole course material, everything. I didn't stop at just writing a letter to satisfy a decision. I wanted to empty myself out before this material. So I went over the material a lot until I absorbed everything out of it that I can get that I missed the first time.
All right, one final question. What is your plan if you were to get granted parole? What's your plan besides parole project? What kind of job you gonna do? Where do you plan on going after? Have you gotten that far?
Yes, sir. My plan is everything that worked here for me, from the drug programs and the club, I'm taking all those things with me. Faith, all those things work for me here. I'm taking that with me. As far as job, I have a job offer now, but I've talked with the case managers and stuff. I've worked maintenance here, and I have job positions lined up as far as resources to pursue, but I have one for sure job standing right now that I could fall right into today.
Through the parole project?
No, this is extra to the parole project. And I also have, through the STAR program, Mr. Laurie is gonna take me on my first AANA meeting. As a graduate of that class, it's continuing treatment on the street, and she provides that. I trust that class. It helped change my life. So I'm gonna take up that class, and whatever she decides for me, whatever place what works, I'm going with that place because I trust their decisions on that.
Right. All right. Why don't we hear next from the man in the back, Mr. Hood? He was waving his hand like he had some input on my question.
Yeah, I have talked to my boss, on several occasions concerning Mr. Lightsey. I carry a lot of weight with the company I work with. I've been with them for 3 years since I've been out myself. They love me and they trust my word on a lot of things. I am a supervisor and I make a lot of decisions there. So, and my boss is a second chance boss. She believes in second chances. And she feels like she's done very well with me. I've had several people who come through, who've made parole, have actually worked at the company I work with now. And so she's all for him coming to work. And I'll also be providing him a home.
All right. Warden Ambo, do you have anything you can tell us about his disciplinary record?
Yes, sir. He had a total of 51 DBs. His last report was in December of 2018, which was a Rule 3. I can tell you that he has his GED, T4C, victim awareness, victim letter training, his 100 hours. The prison staff here stated that Mr. Lightsey is a hard worker. He respects staff and he's often called to do special projects. He's a very good painter. So when they have special projects, they always call on him to do it. He did long-term substance abuse with the STAR program, which is similar to our Steve Hoyle program that's up north. So we have someone come in and do that when Steve Hall don't take them there. We got the STAR program here that they complete. So he is a completer of that.
Thank you very much. All right, how about we hear from Mr. Kerry Myers?
Good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project, here to let the board know that Parole Project has accepted David as a client. As a matter of fact, as a long-term client, we prepared to provide long-term housing and support. While David has not made excuses, I think a look at David's childhood, David never had a chance in life. In fact, his incarceration probably gave him the best chance. And through the struggles he had early on, he's overcome those through discipline, through maturity, through programming, the programming that the institutions have to offer. Particularly, as he said, the STAR program has helped change his life. Not only get understanding of his addictions, but the ability to cope and recognition that he needs long-term support and treatment. He will go an evaluation immediately upon coming to Parole Project through our social work staff. We will coordinate future treatment and support systems through AANA, along with the STAR program coordinator there. He will, after 27 years, he was 16 when he came to prison. We'll coordinate his reentry programming in things like technology, social norms, consumer skills. We will assist him getting his driver's license. We'll do the things that he needs. Our employment team, he has employment lined up. We have a backup if through our employment team. He has skills. He's young enough and at an age where he is very employable. Parole Project is prepared to offer him, again, long-term support, long-term housing. We'd ask this board to consider Mr. Lightsey. He's been compliant since his last hearing, actually gone above and beyond what the board asked him to do. And he's continued to progress and stay on the same path he's been on, the focused path. And so we just ask this board to consider those factors and grant his parole today.
Thank you. How about we hear from Ms. Adrienne Hutchinson next?
Thank you, board, for hearing us today. I want to start from the beginning with David. And we understand that David committed a crime that most of us couldn't fathom committing at 16 years old. But few, maybe none of us have had the life that David had, and the brief describes his upbringing, the chaos, the dysfunction from those who were supposed to mentor him and shape him and protect him. But you won't hear David talk about it. Like Carrie said, he doesn't make an excuse within his upbringing, because his biggest regret and why he's probably so emotional today is because he knows that he alone mentioned Mr. Nini's name, and that Mr. Nini offered him a grace and mercy that he didn't. And those things stay with him because he knows that he is responsible, and he's had to sit with these things. The previous board, when they recommended that he go into victim awareness again, he talks about his blocks early on because he wanted to key into his father's involvement with it. But that once he removed that thinking from his mind, that had truly hindered him from taking responsibility, he's the person that you see today. He's had to sit with his actions and deal with the sorrow and the regret. But he knows that that was necessary. It was necessary for him to truly understand the impact that he had on that family. So now I'd like to pivot to almost the 3 decades that he's been in prison, from 16 years old to 44, and what that transformation has looked like. As he stated, when you asked him about the program that was most impactful, while he had done a lot of programming before he got into the STAR program, he'll tell you that the STAR program was so instrumental because he was able to learn in all these other programs so much better once he had gained his sobriety and had an understanding of just that chemical, that codependency, and his justifying his use, his justifying, his father's involvement. All those things happened after he was able to get a clear understanding of his substance abuse and all the things that were related to that. And with a sober mind, he was able to pour into his faith, helping start the Messianic Jewish community here, learning how to paint in all the various art forms, and then starting art classes here, starting a yoga class here, all things to help men who struggle in their sobriety with their idle time. And all these things grew from a once broken 16-year-old. He rebuilt himself from the inside out within this institution. His artistry has been transformative and has afforded him the opportunity, as he said, to give back. Within the brief, you'll see he has awards for community service because he's used his artistry to give back. I think it's Exhibit 6 within my brief, you'll see the STR plan. So while you typically know Louisiana Parole Project social workers will usually come up with a plan for reentry that's around substance abuse and things like that, because STAR has worked with Mr. Lightsey, particularly for a long period of time, they provided suggestions. They will continue working with Mr. Lightsey in partnership with us. So he has about 2 layers of extra help when it comes to that sobriety. He will remain on opioid blockers. They will introduce him to his new meetings. He will have counseling with them and with us. So he does have various levels of support. As Mr. Hood stated, he works for a second chance employer who has offered David employment. As you know, Parole Project has an employment enhancement department. And so he has the opportunity in between time, if he needs to switch jobs, if that does not work, he would still maintain employment. He is slated to be a long-term client with us, but he does have options if ever he wanted to leave. But his support system is within the Baton Rouge area, and Mr. Hood is right outside of Baton Rouge, so still within that space. And Mr. Hood was here at his first hearing with this same offer from the same employer. So they have continued to believe in David and second chances. We understand that both granting and denying David's parole today won't erase any of the pain or suffering that was caused. And I ask you not to look at granting David's parole today as some reward for good behavior, but rather as an opportunity for individuals like David who have worked tirelessly to rebuild themselves from the inside out, who've been productive, sought out education, and demonstrated that they can be rule followers, who truly understand the depths of their crime as David does and the pain that it has caused, and has worked hard to make amends in any way possible. I believe today that David is that man and is ready to re-enter society with any conditions this board deems necessary. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. We do have some opposition in this case from the sheriff's office, the DA's office. And we also have the victim's granddaughter here who would like to speak. Rebecca Reyes, could you tell us what you have to say, please?
I'd like to say that my man, and he shouldn't have died the way he did. And there's nothing that can bring him. So whatever I stay, I will live with. But it still hurts every single day. It never goes away. That's all I can say today.
Thank you for being here. Sorry for your loss. All right, that's all the questions I have. Any panel have questions?
Yes. Yeah. Just out of curiosity, why did you take the sex offender program?
I was looking
for classes.
I was looking for something that I could learn something from where I was at. And they did offer that. They said I didn't have to take it. But I took it because in my family, there were child predators. And I just wanted to understand what the mind of a person, what that looks like. All of my female cousins were molested by adult men in the family. And it's only because I was a boy that I wasn't a victim.
Okay. And sounds like you got your drugs under control now, huh? Looks like you've done a ton.
Yes, sir.
And you got your plan when you get out, if you were to get out, you got your plan to follow up.
Yes, sir.
All right, I have no further questions.
Let me, so you mentioned earlier when you were, telling us about yourself, you're sober now. How long have you been sober?
I've been consistently sober for over 3 years now.
Yeah. And
Now,
so did that happen, that mindset change at, when you entered the STAR program? I don't know when you actually started STAR.
I started STAR about 2 years ago.
Okay.
A lot of the vocabulary, STAR is a series of workbooks, and I've already been through a lot of programming. I had a lot of the understanding there. It was just not in the correct order and in the correct vocabulary. The STAR program was able to organize much of what I already knew in a way that was personally understandable to me. It restructured everything into an order that's not only doable, but creates a success in your life. It doesn't give you a bunch of miscellaneous information about drugs and the drug culture. It shows you how to work out yourself and how to reconstruct your mind and how to look at drugs with a different type of filter, a moral filter. It shows you how to address yourself in ways that other classes, they didn't teach me that. Although the information was there, it was not presented like this class.
Well, I'm glad to hear that from your perspective. I did notice in the paperwork that I reviewed that your, I don't remember where I read it, but that your sobriety has been for at least a period of 3 years. And I want to congratulate you on that. I just have one other question. We talked about working with whoever Mr. Hood works for. What type of work would you be doing?
I would be, it's dealing with concrete and gravel pits.
Okay, good deal. All right, I don't have any other questions. I guess I don't think any of us have any other questions. I think we're prepared to vote. Mr. Byron?
Mr. Lightsey, I would say that you did a great job during your 27 years in jail of figuring out what your problem was. And I think you got a good support system with the parole project. So I'm going to go ahead and vote to grant you parole today with the condition that you stay with the parole project for 1 year minimum, that you continue outpatient substance abuse treatment, that you do 1 AA meeting minimum per week, and that you also follow up with the outpatient anger management just to make sure. And I'm going to warn you right now that my decision to release you is to see how you're going to do. And if you have 1 positive drug screen, you had 27 years to get ready for this. If you come out and you go back to drugs and you have 1 positive drug screen and I'm on the panel, I'm going to revoke you. I'm not going to say send him back through treatment. You done had 27 years of treatment and preparation. And if you violate that problem right there, which we know is the biggest one and we know the road it leads down, you're done. So I just want to plant that in the back of your mind. Don't come back and sit here in front of us and say, I made a mistake. No, you didn't relapse, make a mistake. You signed your certificate to come back to jail is what you have done. You agree with that? Sounds good?
I agree.
All right. Good luck to you.
Mr. Freeman?
Okay, no, it was a very heinous crime, but it was, you were 16 years old. And you were a juvenile lifer. I'm concerned about them drugs now. They really do concern me. So Mr. Myers, y'all have drug testing capability over there?
Not directly, but we can coordinate that.
Okay. Either between y'all or the probation or the parole office. I want it coordinated. Okay, I'm gonna go along with Mr. Barra. Only special condition I'm gonna add is that for the year that he's in y'all program, I want him drug tested at least 1 time a month. for that year, to make sure that he's off of the drugs. And I'm like Mr. Byra, one little mess up and I'll have no problem sending you back for life. So, that's my vote today, Mr. Miles.
Okay. Mr. Lightsey, I am so proud that when you got denied at your last hearing in 2023, that you didn't lose heart and you took to heart what was recommended to you. And it obviously had made a significant impact on you. So I'm real pleased for that. I want to thank Ms. Reyes. I know your remarks today were not easy, but we really appreciate you being here today and being a part of the process. My vote today is the same as my colleagues to grant your parole to the Louisiana Parole Project Plan with the same special conditions that have already been told. So good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, board.
And do the MAT program part of it. I can't make that a condition, but I think that'll be helpful for you. The medically assisted treatment with STAR, the Medicaid opioid blocker.
Yeah,
I have
it's
that.
in there. Yeah, he's gonna stick with it. Yes, ma'am.
Thank you.
All right.
All right, good morning. Mr. Thompson, would you introduce yourself? Tell us your name and DOC number.
I'm Charles Thompson, DOC number 449805.
Right, and you have counsel with you this morning. Counsel, would you introduce yourself?
Thank you. Micah Sloan of the Louisiana Parole Project on behalf of Charles Thompson.
And we have Katie Mino observing as well today.
Yes,
On Zoom, we have the Parole Project, Carrie Myers, and Mr. Thompson's mother, Carolyn McNeil. And so we'll call on those folks shortly. First, Mr. Thompson, I'm just going to read some identifying information into the record, then I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Byrock as your case was assigned to him. So, Mr. Thompson, you're classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving a 25-year sentence. You were sentenced in July 2015, possession with intent to distribute cocaine. You received a 15-year sentence, possession of Xanax, a 5-year sentence, and possession of a firearm by convicted felon. That was a 15-year sentence. All that's running concurrently. You have another sentencing date in April of 2024 as a habitual offender for distribution of cocaine. You received a 25-year sentence. So your parole eligibility date was April 11, 2024, and your good time date is November 25th, 2038. Is all that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you answer Mr. Barra's questions?
All right. You've been on supervision several times before. What would be different if we were to grant you another chance? What's it going to be different this time?
Okay. Well, first of all, I understand the people that I have hurt, my community, and also my family. I destroyed my community with the drugs I was selling. And with me understanding that, I am very remorseful about it and very sorry for all the people who was hurt by my actions. And also, while I've been incarcerated, I have did everything in my power to get help for myself to where I won't have to go back to being that man that hurt so many people. And I thank I'm thankful for DLC with the programs they offered. And I was able to get into a whole lot of programs that was very helpful to me. Substance abuse, as well as, getting involved with programs that help me with job training. I got involved with HVAC and I got several certifications over there. So right now I know I'm job employable. I also am a mentor right now, a sobriety mentor. And being a sobriety mentor, that's what really showed me what was going on with the people I was dealing with that was dealing with drug addiction. Because right now, I'm over people that's recovering addicts. And I take that very serious, what I'm doing. I take their lives serious and their recovery serious. And that's every day of my life. That's what I do. I want to just help those people and what I'm doing. And also, if I was given a chance to return to society, I have people there to help me, the Parole Project, my mother, and that's what I need right now, just constant help. That's what this prison has done to me. That's what DOC has did with me, helped me to see things in a different light to where I know I can't go back and I won't go back to being that man that I was. I want different. And that's what I've been working hard for with all the work I've been putting in with working at the clubs. I became a manager over there. And I'm proud of myself for being that and having people up under me that's working for me. And like I said, it just shows me that I'm now employable. And just being here with security and getting a relationship with them to have respect for authority. Back then, I didn't have that respect. But now, as I done growed up and got a better understanding, I have respect for authority. I have respect for the law. I just have respect for everything that's in line with the law.
Where do you plan on working? What's your job? You said you had a trade now?
I'm starting off with the Parole Project, and my mom, she has a job lined up for me at a warehouse.
What's your trade?
Oh, my trade is and I have HVAC trade.
Okay. I'm looking in your file, I see that you only had one disciplinary write-up in 10 years. I commend you on that. That's very good. There's no real direct victims in your case because it's a drug case. You got good letters of support from your children and your brother, Ray. I read those. That's very good letters of support there. You wrote a good letter on your own behalf. You called it your memorandum. I thought that was good. Tell me about the New Man program. What is the New Man program, and how you plan on helping others on the outside? Based on, I see you said you wanted to help others on the outside. So tell me about the New Man program and tell me what you're going to do to help others.
New Man program basically showed me about myself as far as dealing drugs and looking at it up close. The people that are affected, I'm able to see them every day and just basically able to see how they struggle with these addictions. So every day we in there with these brothers, man, I'm talking about loving on these brothers, loving them back to life to where after they go through the cycles that we have for them, the phases that we have for them, and to see a brother come back to life when he come in the program looking like that. And that's the hurtful part with me when I see people looking like that, but the joy I get when they come back to life. So being on the outside and dealing with people that's struggling with addiction. If I could help like with the NA, AA and sponsor some people that's going through some things, I would love to be able to do that. And that's what I'm looking forward to doing, being a sponsor on the outside and just helping people and getting help from a sponsor myself.
So you're changing from being a drug dealer to a drug healer.
Yes, yes, yes. Only God could do that.
All right, let's hear from Mr. Kerry Myers.
Good morning, Kerry Myers with Louisiana Parole Project. We're here to let the board know that Charles is our client. We've accepted him into our program. I can tell you that Charles's conversion, I guess, from drug dealer to a person who recognized the harm that the drugs cause has been eye-opening. I mean, Charles and I sat down just the other day and had this conversation. Two things he made known to me. One, the life he was leading, he doesn't want to look over his shoulder anymore. He recognizes that life is someone is a person who doesn't sleep well, who's constantly looking over his shoulder. Charles has skills now. He has an HVAC trade. He has the knowledge of seeing other people who use drugs and their addiction and the destruction that those cause, and his ability now to help those people recover. That's the difference in Charles from 10 years ago to now. That recognition, that maturity, and the things that he has done personally, getting certification HVAC, doing work for Reentry Club, volunteering. As a sobriety mentor, Charles, it's not his job. He is a volunteer. He does this on his own. And, that is certainly significant. When he leaves Parole Project, he will be going to Georgia with his mom, where he is at his age and his skills. He is highly employable. Matter of fact, we have a former client who is now a supervisor and trainer in HVAC in Georgia. And I just spoke to him the other day about connecting him with Charles. So we believe Charles is looked at his entire life. And I have to agree, after talking with him, I think he's tired of looking over his shoulder. Charles wants normal life, and he's ready for it. And so we would ask this board to consider the work that he has done, the transition program and plan that he has, and grant his parole today.
Thank you, Mr. Myers. How about we hear from Ms. Michael Sloan next?
You want to hear from Miss McNeil before I go?
That's fine.
I'll let her go before me.
Ms. McNeil?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes.
I think that Charles should be released to come back into society. I see a significant change in my son from years before when he first was on the streets. And I am so grateful to God. He grew up in a home, a Christian home. And we were at church every Sunday. We prayed in the house, and it was two parents at one time. But then my husband and I, we divorced, but I kept it going. I kept the children in church and trying to do activities and things with them like that. With the church, I see a significant change. He's talking different. He's walking different. He wants to do things to give back to the community. He even wants to come back to the prison and talk to the prisoners that are there about changing, So I have a granddaughter who's a manager over Quick Trip. When he comes home, when he comes to Georgia, I bought a house so that he would have a place to stay and get away from the environment that he's been known to be in, to just change his whole atmosphere, to get away from, he doesn't need to go back by, in the old neighborhood where he was. I want him to come to Georgia with a new start. There's a lot of opportunities out here in Georgia. We want to start, family businesses and all, and have him on the right track. He also has his HVAC going for him. And I have a relative who owns a HVAC company, and I talked to him, and he's looking into putting him with some people that he know. And he also has a great support system. I have my 3 daughters out here. I have a son out here, and I have my sister. I mean, it's just it's a whole community of people that's going to be backing him up to start over again. So if you grant him the parole, that would be such a blessing. And we're going to be in church, and at church we have a program called the Iron Men. And what the Iron Men do, it's a group of Christian men that get together and talk about bettering their lives in God and helping the community. Talking about mental issues and bettering themselves with mental issues. So we're excited, if you grant him this opportunity, and I believe that he's more than ready to be back in the community, because he's going to contribute to the community in a positive way this time. He won't be hurting the community. So he's learned his lesson by being in Angola prison all the years that he's been in Angola prison. I'm telling you, oh my God, I'm so proud of him. I'm really so proud of him. And I was having, before I had Charles, I was having all girls, and I prayed to God for a son, and God blessed me with that son. And I mean, he's just been such a blessing. He's a good person, but he's made wrong choices. And he's recognized that those choices, that he made did not help him or help anybody at all. So he's turning around. He's turned his life around yes.
We understand what you're trying to tell us. Thank you very much. We got it. All right, next we'll hear from Warden Ambo. Can you tell us a little bit about the disciplinary record?
Yes, sir. As far as the disciplinary record, y'all went over it. I would just like to say, since I've been sitting on this board, this is the first time that I have seen somebody within the 10 years of they serving their sentence that they hit the ground running. He has all types of credentials behind him, which is good. We have guys that have been here 30 years that don't have any of these, and they come before the board, and the board has to say, look, we need you to take this, this, and this. So I want to commend him on everything that he did, because it's very good that he has these credentials. He also do tier walking, which is a good thing. A lot of inmates shy away from being a tier walker, and he has great work ethics. He's not a threat to security, and he's very respectable to our staff. So I just want to commend him on that, because I never seen nobody in less than 10 years take this many classes.
Thank you very much. All right, how about Ms. Sloan?
Thank you. Mr. Thompson's story of redemption and reform, at least from my perspective, is unique. And I like the way Mr. Barr already said it, but in short, he went from being a drug dealer to a devoted mentor to those struggling with drug addiction. From selfishly profiting off of addicts to selflessly devoting himself to them. Although Mr. Thompson does not have a named victim because of the nature of his offenses, he does have a clear understanding of who he has harmed and how by selling drugs in his community. And it's that understanding that motivates him to continue to serve the population that he recognizes that he harmed. As he watched people at Angola struggle with addiction and even overdose, he developed a thoughtful awareness of what his drug sales in the past were doing to his community, which sparked in him a determination to make up for such harm by supporting and mentoring those struggling with addiction. Today, as you've heard, he's a mentor in the New Men program. This is an intensive drug rehabilitation program. And as a mentor, he's assigned several recovering addicts, and he's responsible for following them everywhere that they go within the facility, providing guidance and mentorship, and most of all, helping them maintain their sobriety and work through recovery. He even sleeps in the dorm with his mentees. Mr. Thompson more or less insisted on being a part of this program, and though he started as a sponsor, his dedication to the program participants earned him the title of mentor, a position that he's held for the past 2 years. He is one of only 10 mentors, and each of those mentors are recommended by leaders in the program and are ultimately approved by security to take on this immense responsibility. Mr. Thompson is also a facilitator of programs such as 12 Steps with Christ, a faith-based drug rehabilitation program, and Tapuku, a program that encourages participants to make better and healthier choices by reflecting on past choices. Mr. Thompson tells me that witnessing and contributing to the healing process of his mentees and students has been very rewarding for him, and that he just simply loves helping and supporting other people. Being sent to prison for Mr. Thompson was a wake-up call and an opportunity to restart. He began selling drugs as a preteen out of desperation in order to afford food for himself and for his younger brother. But he didn't take the time to stop and consider the true impact of his drug sales until he arrived in prison. When he was forced to move away from his community and his family, Mr. Thompson used his time in prison as an opportunity to reevaluate and reconsider his choices and his mindset. He committed himself to DOC programming and discovered his passion for helping others. What has sprouted in the past decade plus of retrospection and learning is a humble man who approaches life's choices with deliberate intention. As he has emphasized to me several times, Mr. Thompson takes nothing for granted. He takes everything very seriously, and he works through life's challenges slowly and thoughtfully to ensure that no mistakes are made and that the outcome of his choices are always positive. Mr. Thompson has the mature awareness that it was when he left the home and the care and guidance of his mother that he began to stray down a negative path. And he's asking this committee for the opportunity to finally return to that path that his mother created for him. As I wrote in my brief, Mr. Thompson's story is sort of like a fable where the moral of the story is always listen to your mother. Mr. Thompson wishes that he'd listened to her long before he came to prison, but it's never too late to learn from your poor choices and to turn your life around, and Mr. Thompson has done just that. Though Mr. Thompson does have several convictions on his record, these are all convictions related to the indisputable fact that Mr. Thompson used to be a drug dealer, a fact that Mr. Thompson is ashamed of, and a fact that serves as his motivation for reformation and service to his community. Drug dealing was the only job that Mr. Thompson knew before prison, the only way he knew how to bring in money, which is why he found himself returning to it after previous convictions. But the difference today is that after participating and mentoring in drug rehabilitation programming, he's appalled by the thought of contributing to drug use and addiction, and he's developed profitable skills such as HVAC service repair and service and repair, and also cooking. So not only does he never want to sell drugs again, he'll never have to feel like he has to either. Unlike before, Mr. Thompson has the knowledge, the skill, and the resources to earn a living in a safe and a lawful way, and that is what he intends to do. Mr. Thompson is very well prepared to re-enter the community, and in his case, incarceration has served its purpose. He's earned only one disciplinary report during his incarceration. He's become a trusted and responsible mentor in his community. He's deeply remorseful for the harm he's caused in the past, and he has a strong network of support outside of prison. If granted release on parole, Mr. Thompson will have access to all of the services provided by the Parole Project's reentry program, and he's eager to work with LPP to identify a church that holds AA and NA meetings so that he can continue in his service to God and to those struggling with addiction as he continues to address his own shortcomings as well. If approved to do so, once he's completed the LPP program, as you've heard, his plan is to return to his mother's home in Georgia. Mr. Thompson has 3 sisters, a brother, and an aunt nearby his mother's home who are supportive of Mr. Thompson and ready and willing to help him readjust, gain steady employment, and keep him accountable. Mr. Thompson also has 4 children with whom he's remained close, a stepdaughter and 2 grandchildren. Though his children reside in Louisiana, and despite his desire to be close with them, he is strongly committed to his plan to completely restart in a new environment and to lean on the love, care, and guidance of his mother. His community in Georgia already has some potential jobs lined up for him, as you've heard, and given his dedication and his skills, I feel confident that he will be able to find gainful employment and be a responsible, tax-paying, and law-abiding citizen. Not to mention, he will be under the watchful oversight of a parole officer and his mother, who might actually be stricter than a parole officer. I've spent many hours getting to know Mr. Thompson, and I've spoken with members of his family about him. He's been interviewed by our reentry, social work, and employment experts here at the Parole Project, and we are all in agreement that we feel confident that with the supports he has in place, Mr. Thompson is bound to do great if given the opportunity to be released on parole. And because he's so deeply committed to doing everything the right way, the safe way, the legal way, this committee can feel confident that Mr. Thompson will never again make a choice that leads to harm or criminal behavior. Mr. Thompson is a true gentleman, a son, a father, and a caregiver with a big heart and a strong motivation to serve others. He is reformed and he is ready. So for all of these reasons, and based on the information in his parole packet, I respectfully request on behalf of Mr. Thompson that he be given the opportunity to serve the remainder of his sentence on parole and under the strict supervision of his mother. Thank you.
Thank you. All right. I have no more questions. Any of the panel have questions?
I have none.
I have a couple. What was your contraband in 22?
That was a cell phone and a tablet, a theft on the tablet. And the tablet was a friend of mine that died. His family asked me to hold the tablet, and because they didn't want any theft with the people that was packing the property up, so I held on to the tablet and I got caught with the tablet and the cell phone.
And what about your children? You have any contact with your children?
Yes, I have contact with them.
Okay, about how often?
Every week.
Every week, okay.
Every week.
All right, thank you.
All right.
I don't see any other questions. I think we are prepared to vote. Mr. Thompson, Mr. Byron?
All right, Mr. Thompson, as I said earlier, I think you did some good things while you're in jail. I think you head in the right direction with the parole project and your mother as a co-probation officer. Today, I'm going to vote to grant your parole to the parole project and your mother with the special conditions that you do random drug screens for the first year, at least monthly, that you continue with the outpatient substance abuse treatment, whichever is recommended by the parole board or the parole officer, and that you do 8 hours per month of community service work. And that community service work can be the stuff you were talking about with the new man, where you're mentoring the people who need help and things like that. And we'll be flexible with that. Parole project can determine if they would consider it. I'll consider it as community service work in that area. But I'm going to warn you, just like I warned the last guy, you only get one shot. This is it. If you come back here and you have positive drug screens, don't come say I made a mistake and I need to go back to treatment. You've been in treatment for 10.5 years, I think. If you haven't learned it yet, I don't think you can. So you're not going to get another chance out of me. This is the only break you're going to get out of me. Good luck to you.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. You know, you have a terrible, terrible criminal history. And a lot of it, you had guns with you, and a lot of it. But okay, I'm going to go on and concur with Mr. Barra. I want to grant to the parole project, but I want you going to Georgia afterwards. If something changes to where you're not going to go to Georgia, I would like for this board to be notified. Okay, because I think you definitely need a change of scenery.
Yes, I do.
Don't get it. You could be serving life. They want to give you life on this one, and it habitually offended you. But so that's my vote. Good luck to you, sir.
Thank you.
Mr. Thompson, my vote today also is to grant. I have full confidence in your mother and your 3 sisters. more, and your parole officer. So you're gonna be under some very watchful eyes with the same special conditions that have already been stated. Good luck to you, sir. Best of luck.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, good morning, Mr. Frank.
Good morning.
Could you introduce yourself, sir? Tell us your name and DOC number.
My name is Adam Frank Jr., 213548.
All right, and I've seen you before. I was on a panel when you had a hearing, so this is not your first parole hearing, right?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
So let me read some identifying information, just read it into the record. So you, Mr. Frank, are classified as a fourth felony offender. You're currently serving a 65-year sentence. You were sentenced in St. Landry Parish in February 2005 for one count of armed robbery. Is that correct? And
Yes,
you
ma'am.
have parole eligibility date, which was January 30th, 2025, and you have a good time date in 2059. Is that information correct?
Yes, ma'am.
So neither one of my panel members today were on the panel when we saw you back in August of 2023. So we have a little different format now. We start out with asking you for your statement to tell us, you know, what landed you in prison, what'd you do, and what have you done since? Why do you think we ought to consider you for an early release? So you get the floor. Go ahead.
Well, first off, it was bad decision making with the circle of friends that I had. And I got caught up because of a situation where the victim testified at my trial that it wasn't me. She didn't see me. She said she never met me before. And I was convicted on a co-defendant statement. But since I've been incarcerated, I started off with a rough start, but the last, I think, 8 to 9 years, I've been right up free, trustee status. I received all the requirements that were needed for the board. And at the last hearing, it was some sort of description with my educational background, which was updated recently with the transcript. And the courses that were required, thanking for a change, the 100 hours, all that has been updated too as well. And really, I just been staying out of trouble, just trying to make it out and get back home.
All right.
And-
So I did note that there was some mention of lack of programs, I think, at your last hearing. And so you're saying that even at that hearing, you had already completed those programs?
No, ma'am. I was in the process of taking the programs.
Okay. So I forget, you had one program on your transcript at that time. I think it was Cage Your Rage.
Yes,
Anger.
ma'am. Yeah, anger
And
management.
since then, what I show, since that hearing, when it was mentioned to you, you needed more programs, you've done victim awareness, thinking for change, and the 100 hours pre-release program.
Yes, ma'am.
Did you complete the victim awareness program?
Ma'am, they told me they told me I couldn't take it because of the statement that was given at the last hearing with the victim testifying that it wasn't me at the trial. And with me having an open appeal dealing with an actual innocence claim because of that, they said I couldn't take it.
Is that appeal still pending?
Yes, ma'am.
I see that you removed from victim awareness for excess absences. That's what they have done. That's also.
No, that's not true, sir. The day of my hearing was the first day of the class. And after the hearing was over with, they told me when I got back to the camp, they told me they couldn't take me into class because of that.
Interesting. All right. So you still maintain that you're innocent of the crime?
Yes, ma'am.
Because I've noticed that, and I remember that, but when I dug through the file, and it's pretty extensive, there was a statement you made in January of 2003 that indicates your involvement in the crime.
No.
All right.
the statement that was given is that I picked the guy up after he had called for a ride, and I went and picked him up. But the victim said it wasn't me. It was two perpetrators that robbed her, and she identified both of them at trial. And she said that
So let me tell you, Mr. Frank, we're not here today to determine your guilt or innocence. We accept what happened in court, and then that's between you and the system.
I understand that.
We're here to talk about you and are you prepared for release, and are you a public safety risk? So as I mentioned, you were a fourth felony offender, and I want to go over for the record and those who are watching. Your first offense was 1989, 2 counts of simple burglary. You received an 8-year sentence. You were placed 5 years probation, and you absconded. You know, they couldn't find you, so you were revoked in 1999, I believe. In 1991, you had a conviction for simple burglary of an inhabited dwelling, and you received a 6-year sentence. There was another 1999 offense, simple escape. I believe that was in Monroe. You received a 2 years hard labor sentence running consecutive to the others. And then, of course, we're here today for an event or an offense that happened in 2001. And you were still on supervision at that time. Is that right? You were still had to report to a parole officer and all that?
Yes, ma'am.
So as I'm sure was mentioned to you at the last hearing, there's opposition to early release for you from the law enforcement community, from the district attorney's office, from the DA's office bases it on your crimes of violence and the escape. You need to be aware that hadn't changed. That's still there. So what's your job there? What do you do there at Angola?
Well, I've been placed inside due to the fact my sister was supposed to be brought up here for execution, but they had me on a walk in the main prison, helping out the trustees, painting the main prison and taking care of things at the grounds and stuff like that. But
That's what that's your current job?
yes, ma'am. But I'm still assigned to Camp J Lakefront, which they got them doing other things, but I can't go out the gate right now. So
That's a whole different project up there. So what classes are you enrolled in now? Any?
no, ma'am.
You know, is there any other class that you think you might benefit from?
Yeah, but it's an extensive backlog list, and getting on the list, waiting is the problem.
Yeah, are you on a list?
Well, they told me they were gonna put me in the MOREHOUSE program, but I never heard back from them.
Which program is that?
It was a MOREHOUSE program that they had with help the IPC3 classes and stuff like that. But I never heard back from them.
That's digital literacy.
Oh, okay. I was trying to figure that out. Thank you. All right. And as I review your record, you have a residence plan.
Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been in jail on this charge?
23 years.
Okay. I don't think I have any other questions. I'd just like to hear Warden Ambo. What can you add?
I can add that, you know, he was moved from his assignment minimum B due to a special project that was getting ready to be carried out at Camp J, so he was moved inside the gate. Also, the programs that he completed were T4C in 2023 and 100-hour pre-release that was recommended to him with victim awareness. Victim awareness is a class that you have to admit that you commit the crime. Same as sitting here, if you deny that you did the crime, then they figure that you shouldn't be in victim awareness. But it also states that he had excessive absence too.
So let me ask you this. because of his previous crimes, would he qualify for victim awareness based on his prior criminal history and convictions?
Yes, ma'am.
Curious. All right, I'm going to defer to my colleagues. Any questions?
No question.
Make a motion for executive session. To discuss.
Second.
We have a motion and a second to discuss confidential matters. Is there any objection?
No.
All right, I need to call the roll. Mr. Frank, we're going to be in executive session for a moment to discuss confidential matters. Stand by. We'll be right back. Okay, it is, I move that we go back into regular session. Is there any objection? Mr. Barra has seconded without objection. We're back in regular session. It's 10:58. All right, Mr. Frank, we are ready to vote, and I'll vote first. And I kind of feel the same way I did when I saw you last time. I think my notes said that you were not very forthcoming during the hearing, and I think we got that again today. My vote today is going to be to deny your parole. And today I'm basing that on you have a poor supervision history. You've been revoked before. You have, I still believe you have a lack of sufficient programs for rehabilitation. I do recommend that you take the victim awareness. Maybe Ms. Warden Ambo can help you with that. And the opposition that I mentioned when we were talking, very strong opposition. So that's my vote, sir. Mr. Byron.
And I'll concur with Mr. Natsa for the same reasons.
Mr. Freeman.
I agree. Law enforcement opposition and 33% of his time, sir.
All right, Mr. Frank, today your parole has been denied, sir. Good luck to you. Warden Ambo, we're going to sign off at 10:59. Thanks for your help.
Welcome. Hey, Adam, I'll put you back in victim awareness. You gotta go.